So, this game is going to take place in the lands of Signar, and you'll see that by the giant blue-esque area on the map. Now, what's known about Signar is that in Western Imran, Imran is the continent you're currently on right now, known as the Iron Kingdoms. It has several countries on this, that being Khador to the north, Or to the north, Lael to the northeast. You're expected to have middle Signar. You have the Protectorate of Minoth to the east, and then to the southwest you have Crix, a bunch of undead bastards essentially. We have more things that are off to the east in the Bloodstone Marches, but we're focused on the Kingdom of Signar. It is the most prosperous, it is the most advanced when it comes to just almost everything except for really technology. The forefront of that actually is going to come from the elves. The elves and elves are actually the best technological, but also the most rare of all the races inside this world. Now, there's a couple of minor distinctions we need to mention about some of the races that you might not know or heard of, or I also am learning. One thing to put together is I'm also learning the lore again as we go. And unfortunately, I was a bit busy this week to do as much as I wanted to plan with, but I want to get this thing off the ground and started so we can go and hopefully have some fun. Now, dwarves themselves are not the typical D&D elves, because that's what I'm just going to compare to that, because everyone kind of knows that. Where the elves in Imran and Iron Kingdoms don't typically have beards like the fantasy counterpart do. They tend to be clean-shaven and talking in typical, I would say, accents. The really heavy accented races would be the Ogrins as well as the Trolls. But since we have none of those except for the Ogrins here, Ogrins, for all intents and purposes, are a race in themselves. They're not like ogres or trolls or the D&D equivalent. They're just a very, very massive, large, and very, very loyal, focused race. To where dwarves and the Ogrins have a very, very strong relationship with themselves because of the fact that Ogrins are loyal. They're like the Chewbacca's if you know Star Wars, Han Solo. That's how the race kind of is. Very, very strong and very, very good for laborers in the cities. Now, with the cities being said, this is a very, very early Victorian era society, minor steampunk, that being mostly with the steamjacks and the combination of arcane mechanics and the magic, the fusion of magic and technology. But everyone resides within the cities. It is the safest, it is the best place to gather resources, items, and just to live. The wilds are very, very dangerous outside of cities. So, most people stay within the cities, or they try to, for whatever reason, carve out an existence outside the cities for whatever reason they might be out there. That being either because they don't like cities for whatever reason, or they're running from the law, or another various amount of reasons. With that being said, though, in today's game, start this off with, and to make it easy, all of you have answered the call to a mercenary company, as it were, about a week ago, known as Hell's Horses. This is a mercenary company based in Signar, and we haven't determined a location yet, so we'll do that a little bit later. We're going to start small and spread outwards, as I mentioned. But in Signar, this company is itself relatively new, but have been established for the last year. All of you, for whatever means, whatever reasons, wanted to acquire maybe a means of wealth, maybe it means a purpose drive, or just want to get into battle. As it is, Signar is at a kind of unspoken, uneasy truce with Khador. Khador has essentially walked into Lael and essentially leveled the place, now having Laelese refugees traveling south towards Signar. But some Laelese individuals stay there and have now formed the Laelese Resistance, or the Lael Resistance, where they fight back against the Khador. Signar was an ally of Lael, and there was a huge battle, huge war between Khador and Signar with Lael there. But eventually, once Lael was taken over, Signar went back, and now there's a very, very, as I mentioned, uneasy truce. So a lot of the battles, a lot of the wars, a lot of the conflict now fought upon the surface of Imran is done by mercenary companies, unspoken by those other nations, as well as other issues, other conflicts that might arise. But that's the biggest ones around there. But back to our little group right here. All of you maybe exchange pleasant glances, quick small talk in the week leading up to the events that you find yourselves in right now. That being formed on one of the contingents of the Hell's Horses Mercenary Company, roughly about 300 individuals strong. They were tasked, they were given a job opportunity to head towards a location in Signar believed to be a forward operations, a forward scouting base by another company that was rumored to be working for Kador. Although it's a rumor as it is, could be false, could be real, but that's a rumor that was spread around the bottom ranks of the rank and file troops, that being all of you. All of your, well, you're all new, you're all brand new characters, so you're not something high up, you're just essentially the peons, the grunts of Hell's Horses. You traveled by train at first, and then by horse-drawn wagons, heavy horse-drawn wagons, because there were a couple of jacks in Hell's Horses Company. There's 3 of them. In fact, not quite war jacks, but the labor jacks used, retrofitted for battle, for combat done with whatever they're going to approach. So their objective, your objective, was to go there and essentially be the rear line in this assault to remove this rumored Kador Fort Observation Camp. For whatever reason, they're in Signar. You got to the location, you have stayed there for about 2 days, preparing yourselves, being a little bit bored, when all hell broke loose. In the midst of the night, probably in between you either drinking, talking with friends, getting to know each other possibly, maybe none of you even seen each other, as it were, during the star-filled night sky, the rumbles of explosions and screams echoed up immediately afterwards as the earth went asunder with weaponry. All of you quickly, best you could, gathered your armaments, your armor, maybe not even that with the time given to you, but you did a very, very brief rush into a defense. You're watching your fellow other Hell's Horses individuals as they themselves looking entirely confused what's going on, when a piece of explosions, a numerous amount of explosions, happen around all of you, blanking out your existence. You now wake up. It is the morning sky. Out, you can smell around all of you the effects of blasting powder, which is what is used for the firearms of Iron Kingdoms or Imran. And with that, just covered in amounts of earth, debris, shards of wood, and dried blood. Your own, some not, some from other individuals. But the group of you, that being 4 of you, all 5, as Jin's not here, Jin will be technically part of this group also, but the 5 of you come to consciousness in the morning sky. You can see the sun starting to crest the horizon, and the sounds only right now that come to your ears is that of a slight breeze that rustles through the trees around you, and, well, just the smell of earth and death. Off in the far distance, you hear a bit of a scream.
Oh, fuck.
Holy... What happened?
Oh, Jesus God, what the,
Liver purple. Still got your limbs, everyone? We're alive?
maybe. My ears are ringing, but, that is not abnormal, so...
I might be dead. Am I dead?
I don't think so. I don't think you're dead.
Okay. Everything hurts.
Yeah. Everything. God, it smells like shit out here.
Well,
What?
we should start regrouping. If there's still some people alive. Where happened? It was inaudible. Sorry, man. Where's Captain?
Where, Captain?
Who was here? I think.
So,
I don't.
all of you worked with. Under the command over you was someone known as Captain. I want to say Antilles, but that'd be the wrong universe. Captain Theron. And as you look around, you in fact see Captain Theron about 4 paces away from. I need to get chat ready. 4 paces away from you, Constance, you see Captain Theron face down on the ground. This was a man that had heavy chained armor and was a human of about roughly the mid-40s, well experienced, kind of nice liked by the troops. And you can tell by looking at him as you kind of all get yourselves up off the ground, this man is very, very much dead. In fact, as you look around, you're in the midst of a wooded area. This is where you remember sleeping the night before, where now, as you can take in the surrounding area, there is just a amount of untold devastation. Whatever attacked or assaulted this camp in the night made sure, or tried to make sure, that they just wiped out everything. And you see, of the 300 individuals you kind of marched in with, you see 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 getting up on the outskirts. What the hell happened? As they look around themselves. But scattered amongst all of you are untold amount of dead individuals.
I approach the captain.
Quick
Dead
question.
captain.
You said we kind of like got up in the middle of the night. What time is it now?
It is
ish.
currently about 6:45 a.m.
All right, so it's like dawn or very early morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would approach the captain's dead body and look for his. He probably has a dog tag on him, right? That identifies him.
He, as you look down, you notice a couple things there, Lawrence. You see that he is missing a number of items. You kind of roll his body over to check, and he has no identification on him right now. In fact, I would say the troops themselves don't carry really dog tags, but I don't know about actual lore right now, so I'm just going to make it up on the spot. They carry kind of like a, not really a pocket watch, but a pocket watch size item on themselves of their identification inside the Signarin or the mercenary company. In fact, we'll say the House Horses have a kind of like a pendant that all the members wear. That is what is meant to gain access to their homes or the holds within the wherever locations that might be. But you look for that identification and you do not find it upon this individual. But more troubling is you notice that all of his items have been essentially ruptured and destroyed. You see that his own pistol, a mage, like his was a mage, a gun mage, and his weapon itself has been exploded for whatever reason. All of the ammunition he has ruptured and gone off. And the rest of you, as you look around, you see the same effect. It's as if a force made all of the blasting powder of these individuals to go off. A quick glance at your items show that they have not gone off. And so, for whatever reason, you 5, as well as the scattering amount of survivors around you, have been untouched by whatever happened here. But that's one thing you definitely see as y'all come to.
And the other people who didn't have all of their stuff exploded, kind of like at the outskirts, so this might seem like some kind of thing that went off and we were just at the edges so we didn't get affected.
No. You do if it's an investigation you wish to do, you do notice that even around you, you come across bodies, and you can tell where they had ammo pouches or the blasting pouch where they carry the ammunition. Those have exploded, but it's all around you. So your group individually, for whatever reason, has not been touched, but everyone around you has. Not quite sure why, but it does seem that only you in the middle of this have been untouched, as well as I mentioned, the random amount of survivors nearby.
Somebody has stolen the watch. Definitely. For what reason?
I don't know. This is freaking crazy. What the? So they exploded all of the gunpowder. Just all of it. And now all of the people who had that are dead.
Well, let's go ahead and get used to how some rolls are done in this game. So, everyone, go ahead and, if you so wish, build me, please. Or not build me, it's the wrong game. Go ahead and roll me your notice skill. Now, as I've done some extensions, you can actually click on the little icon for notice without the button itself, and it actually will roll automatically for you.
Wow.
So all of you can roll notice, if you so wish.
How do I add a +2?
You're going to click on the number, the D4, D6, whatever it is, and add it in there. There's a place for the modifier.
Did I roll?
You did, Lawrence.
Looks really weird.
You probably clicked on the actual icon instead of the text.
Ah, okay.
Not. Wait, how do I add? Yeah, 3 as a 12.
Just yeah, it's fine. So what we're looking for is just the number 4. So remember, in Savage and Tactics for Yukon system, I know you weren't here, part of my little lunch I did to teach these guys the game. But in Savage Road, you're only looking for the number 4. 4 is always the success, whatever role you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You don't want the add.
Yeah, all you really need to do, Anus, is just, oh, I know why. I know exactly why. Give me a second.
/me.
No.
Wait, what?
Yeah, /me.
Oh yeah, but that puts in your name. That's how you do like verb stuff. I get that.
I'll make this easy. I'm going to put you into this. And I'll make it relevant because it'll be an easy way to show things how things work. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Lawrence, there you are. We'll put in Constance. We'll put in Shorty. We'll put in Morty.
Ooh, our name's right. Hey?
Hey.
Shorty and Morty.
That is what you come to attention to. Now if you type out in chat, you will actually type out your name. In fact, I need to turn off one thing I think I had on. No, it's already turned off. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and throw in some things to give this a little more flavor. We'll throw... That's a little large.
It's a giant slag.
It's a giant slag.
Hey.
It's even larger. There we go. Let's do a bit more of that. We'll do a bit of that right there. That might be a little large, but that's fine. We'll put a little body right there. We'll put some guts right here. Put some things right there. But just give a general idea of what you can kind of see around. We'll put an arm, hand right there. Let's put a leg for good measure right here. But you're seeing just a gruesome scene. As mentioned, you see that scattered amongst the ground and about, you can see that the ammunition of a lot of weaponry in Immoren is one of two things. One is an actual packet of blasting powder, which all intent purposes is gunpowder. But blasting powder, which is shoved into a barrel of a weapon, and then a ball, which is shoved on top of that, and then that gets fired, and boom goes the bullet. Or actual bullets, shell casing with a bullet that's put into more advanced weaponry. What you're seeing right now, as you do just a casual observation about, is that a lot of scattered bullets are just littered about the area. This gives to you that Yes, a lot of the busted powder did go off, and usually in a pouch you keep the busted powder packets as well as the bullets together when you need to reload a firearm. So these busted powders essentially went off and shot off the bullets, kind of like shrapnel essentially, and you're seeing these just littered about. Kind of a scene that you've not really encountered before.
Can I try to track the initial action?
The initial what?
Like where it started, the first explosion.
You wouldn't be able to tell. There
Oh,
are
it's the-
there are potholes. There are literally hundreds of craters in the ground all about. All various
Got it.
sizes, some large, some small. Even right now, you're starting to now smell the scent of burning wood, and you kind of check your glance to the sky, and you can see from all around, from all directions, the sporadic amount of fires that is billowing into the sky. Now, before going any further, let's get some actual introductions now. So, as the five of you seeing the scene unfold, look at each other. A little group that was untouched in this just a devastation. Quickly tell everyone what you look like, who you are, and if you want to do an introduction, go do it right now. What are you dealing with?
Oh, I can go. My name is Constance. Constance is a short dwarf, small, stocky. But if you look at her, you can notice that she is no stranger to explosions. Seeing as the fact that she is missing an eye and like half of her hair is like shaved off, not in like a way that is a fashion style. It is because she was like right next to like a mishap essentially in an experiment, and so she has loss of hearing in that ear. Her hair like is essentially blown off, so she has like the right side of her face is like kind of explosioned a little bit. So she has like a false eye, and yeah, her hair is like dark, thick, like brown hair, and kind eye, one eye, but it looks to be like permanently covered in soot and a little bit more grimy right now, obviously, but yeah.
No, I dig it. Shorty is a large Ogren. Even for an Ogren, he's brawny and muscular, and most of that currently, I believe, is covered in plate armor. His face, we might be able to see of it, seems a bit misshapen. Maybe a sunken cheekbone, a misaligned nose, a missing tooth here and there. And he is currently rather sad and looking around. Maybe he's found the captain, which would make him very sad. And he would currently, I suppose, be kneeling by the body and being very, very depressed. I think that's about it for now.
Right. So Morty is a human. He would be well dressed, like a civilian, but then now it's in tatters, and he has a sort of like long hair from back, and if you look at him, he has a certain aloofness, but then he's kind of on alert, kind of looking around the scouting area for more potential threats. So yeah, just standing there, you know. All right, that's it.
Well, that's compact. Well, if you look at Lawrence, you will see he has a pretty thin face. He's from his build is pretty slim as well. He's not stocky. He's not too. He's just normal from his body size, but he has high cheekbones, which remind you of an elf. If you were to pull down the hood, you would see his pointy ears. He has short hair, brown hair. And one feature that jumps into the eye are his arms, which are actually scarred with lightning zigzags, essentially along the veins up to his torso.
I dig that.
Now, what's to be said real quick?
Oh, a little fucked up.
Oh, what's up? So to be said real quick, when it comes to the rarity of elves, it is not uncommon to have a individual essentially go their entire life and see maybe one or two elves, if that. And so the fact that there's one here is very, very different. It's very, very odd. It's almost unheard of to see elves outside of Ios, to the east.
And he's clothed in dark teal robes. That's it.
Alright, so the four of you see this. Now, with that being said, and the amount of things going on right now, and just the scene that was put out, and the events you recall from the night before, what I want to know is, real quick, Morty. What is Morty thinking right now?
Okay, so 1, casualties, 2, location, 3, and any more enemy, and 4, 4 isn't exactly like a priority, but any survivors besides us, mostly from the scream we heard. All right, that's it.
All right, Morty, you look around a little bit, and you're seeing that amongst you, as mentioned, just a numerous amount of individuals that are dead. Scattered with them is a collection of the camping supplies. In fact, all of you look around, and your own camping supplies would be nearby. That being a tent, maybe a mess kit, maybe some food from the night before, is still scattered about, probably blown over. A lot of the tents that you see around you are just peppered with holes from shrapnel. That being either, as mentioned, the bullets from the individuals carrying them, but even also pieces of debris from the surrounding area. Nails, as well as rocks and even wood pieces from trees that got exploded and just overturned throughout the night. You look around real quick, Morty, and you see in the distance an individual, probably about maybe 100 paces away, and he's just looking around a bit confused. You can see that he himself is very, very bloody. Oh, in fact, all of you are just covered, as mentioned, in dirt, debris, blood, and all that that fun stuff, I guess, if you want to think about it, fun. Shorty, what are you thinking? What's Shorty thinking right now?
Shorty is very depressed because the captain is dead. He wants to know who killed him. Somewhere in the back of his mind, the rational part of him is probably like, all right, we need to pack up. We need to move on. We need to find out who the next leader is. But at least for the moment, he is just being very depressed.
Fantastic. Shorty, being an ogre in yourself, and trying to find the next leadership, you do a look around. You try to see the next individual you can either talk to, follow, or just the leader of Hell's Horses. And you see right now that there's almost no one recognizable of who would have been in command. And in fact, you see the area that had the command tent where all of the essentially higher brass individuals of the Hell's Horses leadership were located at, and that tent is surrounded in itself by about 6 large craters, and all of the trees around the area have been completely overturned, demolished by what you're starting to maybe piece together right now is either some massive spell work or artillery that struck in the night. Again, what's happened with the blast of powder is still unaccounted for and unknown of what happened there. But you look to the direction of that tent, and it is a complete cleaned area. It looks like maybe a lot of the focus fire happened there.
Is everybody dead?
I don't think I am.
But everybody else.
I think that everybody else is dead.
You guys aren't hurt, are you?
Not that I
so.
Not that I know
Alright.
of. I still have two eye. I mean one eye, right? That's okay. Cool.
Stay put. Gather the food. I'm gonna go help out that guy, and then I'm gonna point towards the guy 100 paces away, and then I'm gonna take out my first aid kit and go help him.
Okay, so real
Nice.
quick, I want to mention real quick, 'cause I know the way you're role playing right now is fantastic there, Anus, but I do want to mention real quick that the typical Ogrins themselves, they themselves are not dim-witted or dim. So you could talk with a deep voice normally. Let's role play that way, that's fine, but the typical Ogrins and Trolls are actually intelligent. They're as intelligent as a typical human.
Nay, Shorty is not.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want you to think that Ogrins are typically. When you think of like ogres, you might think like dim-witted. They're not in this case. They're
Right.
actually they're normally intelligent.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
remarkably stupid.
Okay, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Right. I just want to make
So
that
he's,
sense get across. So that's fine.
So he's playing a stereotype of another universe. Good to know.
Well, the picture didn't give it away.
Before you go, Morty, how about we should first calm down, get our wits, breathe, and then proceed to retreat instead of going anywhere.
Yeah, sure. You do that. I'll go help him. I've got a whistle.
Well, I mean, if
So I'll tell
Yeah.
you guys if I see anything. Don't worry about me.
Hmm.
all
Right,
right.
Did we take the three repurposed jacks with us? Like, do I see them scattered anywhere? Destroyed?
Give me a notice roll. Give me a notice roll at -2. We'll put a -2, but give me a notice roll. That's the buff I'm giving to you.
Okay.
Can we help with it?
If you want to roll, go for it.
Oh my goodness, that dice was spinning for 3 years. Holy damn!
So, +6? I don't know.
While
Yep.
while they're looking around for that, I think Shorty's gonna get up and kind of start gathering his stuff and whatever else he might find nearby that is useful.
All right. All right. So Morty and Lawrence, both of you look around, and Morty, you had a +2 to your notice, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is actually base roll. So Morty, you in fact see that the Laborjacks that were brought with the Hell's Horses Company are essentially missing. You don't see him at all.
Something's off. Our jacks are gone.
You're thinking more like obliterated. I don't see anything of them.
What's
Not
the
even
thing?
pieces left.
You would expect to see, possibly as Morty is mentioning, pieces of a jack nearby, but they themselves are not here.
That is weird.
Oh, Paul?
Yeah.
Can you point towards where the injured guy is?
Point towards the north.
The north? Okay.
Yeah.
Just gonna move my token bit upwards.
Not yet.
I don't think.
We're not letting that go yet. Not quite yet.
Okay. Oh, the game is paused.
Yes. Costas, what's your character thinking at this point in time?
Just like kind of disoriented, and is like trying to focus because for her, like, her hearing is already bad, and the fact that there were a bunch of explosions, like, there's like a huge ringing in her head and she cannot focus that much. So she's just trying to gather her bearings and like look around to see if any of her like gadgets and stuff are around, because those are like the thing she keeps a lot of like things that she has been working on her body, and likes to keep them like in her pockets and stuff. So she's like kind of rummaging around, like trying to find all of the things. And if she can't find them in her pockets, then she's gonna start wandering around and like trying to find them.
Well, let's do a chance roll. Go ahead and roll me a d20. Ooh, there's no d20 in the thing. Roll me a d12 then.
Okay.
You'll see it in the chat window. You'll see the little d12 at the bottom. Little dice tray at the bottom right. Click on the dice and click on roll. We'll automatically roll it.
A 6.
It could do that, but it might be faster just to click on it. But either will work, Shorty. So, you look around, around Constance, and you see that your items are actually on you still. They have not gone missing or disappeared, and well, you had them stowed away fairly well. So yeah, you're good. Everything is next to you and on you than you would expect.
Oh God. I'm just gonna like start opening my things and be like, oh, I'm so glad I did not lose you. And then put them back in my pockets.
Got it. And lastly, Loris, what are you thinking right now? Lawrence.
I'm thinking about how we should retreat to the headquarters and tell them what happened.
Well,
They
when you think
even
about it,
exist.
Lawrence, when you think about the headquarters, you look in the direction that your new companion, Shorty was looking at. And that